So hopefully many of you would have received an email yesterday which outlined in more detail a lot of the good things that immigration's doing in response to COVID-19. So the first thing, let me emphasise, border exceptions are only for extreme circumstances. In essence, the New Zealand border is closed to all but New Zealand citizens and New Zealand residents. But we do recognise, and the government recognises, that there will be extreme circumstances which warrant discretion being shown. So what we've done in Immigration New Zealand is implement an application process for people to apply for an exception to the border restrictions. That's available on the website, and you can follow the links on the website. There's an expression of interest process followed by an invitation to apply. To have compelling humanitarian circumstances, what are we looking for? We're really first and foremost looking for a very, very strong connection to New Zealand. So in essence, that means that people who are residing in New Zealand, or people who have got strong family connections to New Zealand. The second thing that we're looking for is the impact of not giving an exception to those individuals. So where those individuals are going to be significantly impacted by not being able to reconnect with their family members or homes in New Zealand, we will consider their humanitarian circumstances. For this group, what we're looking for is a signed offer of employment in a listed role. So that's a signed offer of employment from a listed agency in a listed roles. And those lists are available on the Immigration New Zealand website, so that should be pretty clear. So what does that mean for international students who are currently in New Zealand and working in healthcare roles? And when I talk about healthcare, I'm also including the aged care sector. So for those students that are operating in those roles, what we're proposing is that they can work full-time for up to 3 months. So that goes beyond the current 20 hours a week that they're allowed to work. Another aspect that we're doing in the healthcare sector is for lower skilled temporary healthcare workers. And you'll remember that the stand down period is due to kick in for some workers who've been in New Zealand for 3 years by August of this year. So what we're saying now is that for those healthcare workers, they can work for an additional 12 months. That means that those workers that were due to be stood down from August after completing their 3 years in New Zealand will now have an additional 12 months added onto their essential skills work visas. On the 2nd of April, automatically temporary visas get rolled over to the end of September. But what about those visas that have expired before the 2nd of April? So what we're asking people to do there is email us their circumstances to our Section 61 team, and the Section 61 team will look at those individual circumstances and decide whether to grant a visa through to the end of September. Essentially, that will bring them on a level playing field with all of the other temporary visa holders. It's not guaranteed, and there needs to be a case made. Please do keep in touch. I've had some wonderful emails over the last week, and I think people really do appreciate the chance for us to try and communicate through different mechanisms, different means. So keep your spirits up, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.